The Jewish story. This week's story from the Holocaust is taken from the book Notes from the Warsaw Ghetto, from the Journal of Emanuel Ringelblum, translated and edited by Jacob Sloan. June the 25th, 1942, inside the ghetto. A small group of people discussed the question of what would be the best thing to do if it were possible to send somebody from the ghetto out into the world. Everybody agreed that the most important thing was to arouse the world to the horror of the organized extermination we are now suffering. There was no point in even considering the question as to whether or not this would worsen our condition. We have nothing to lose. The extermination is being executed according to a plan and schedule prepared in advance. Only a miracle can save us, the sudden end of the war. Otherwise we are lost. Ought we demand retribution? Some of the company held we ought. The several score thousand Germans in America ought to be collected and locked up in concentration camps. Stick them behind barbed wire, put them on a diet of water, and let them perish of hunger. That's what's happening to us in Poland. Others of the company held that if we were to demand retribution, this would incite the Germans even further and lead to the complete extermination of the Jews. Another question the company discussed was whether it was right to send abroad a list of important persons so they could get visas and be rescued. Some of the company argued that the elite ought to remain with the common people and perish with them. A few, on the other hand, referred to Jewish history and tradition, which calls for saving even one soul in Israel, all being equally precious. The consensus was that each special group ought to try to save its own important individuals, but that the group as a whole should make no such attempt. Another point emphasized was that the Jewish people must be told about the plan to exterminate the Jewish population, because though Hitler promised on several occasions to exterminate the Jewish people, they're doing everything in the world now to keep the Germans from finding out what is happening to the Jews. At the beginning, thousands of Jews were shot in the middle of the city or right outside it, but lately they're following this plan. The non-productive elements, in inverted commas, children up to the age of 10 and old people over 60 are locked in sealed railroad cars, which are guarded by a German detail and transported to an unknown destination. Generally, the transport goes towards Belzec, where every trace of the resettled, in inverted commas, Jews disappears. The fact that no one has so far succeeded in escaping from the death camp in Belzec, that up till now not a single Jewish or Polish witness of the extermination operation in Belzec has survived, is the clearest indication of how careful they are that the news not be published among their own people, proving that if the German populace knew about it, they would probably not be able to execute the mass murder. Please pass on this story.